Hey everyone, if you are looking for the best Play-Doh recipe without cream of tartar, look no further because today I'm trying out 4 of the internet's most popular recipes out there, including one that has 8 million views on YouTube. So if you want to see which one is actually best, stay tuned. The first recipe that I found was found through YouTube. I typed in Play-Doh recipes without cream of tartar, and this one came up first, and it has 8 million views. I adjusted the original recipe of making 4 Play-Doh balls to only 1. I started with the wet ingredients first, and I added 1/4 cup of warm water, 10 drops of food coloring, half a tablespoon of oil. For the dry ingredients, I followed her instructions and got a separate bowl. I added 1 cup of flour and 1/4 cup and 1/8 cup of salt. I mixed the dry ingredients together and then I measured out 1 cup of this flour and salt mixture. Now it was time to add our dry ingredients to the wet. I stirred the ingredients together with a spoon to start out, and then I used my hands to knead it instead. After kneading the Play-Doh for several minutes, it was ready to be tested. Now let's get into my thoughts on this Play-Doh recipe. I love the fact that it is no cook, so if you need something quick and easy, this is great. I, however, was a little disappointed. I found that the recipe was kind of dry and that the salt granules were falling out. I guess it just goes to show you that just because something is very popular on the internet doesn't necessarily mean it's the best. I'm glad we tried it, but I wouldn't remake it again. Next up was a recipe that holds the #1 spot on Google, and that is the easy Play-Doh recipe without cream of tartar by funlearningforkids.com. This recipe will need to be cooked on the stove, so I added my wet ingredients directly into a pot. The recipe called for 3/4 cups of water, 1 tablespoon of vegetable oil, 3 tablespoons of lemon juice, and I added 10 drops of food coloring. In a separate bowl, I added 1 cup of flour and 1/4 cup of salt, and I mixed it together. Next, I put my pot on the stove and heated it on medium. When it was hot but not boiling, I added the dry ingredients. You can see here I just dumped the entire bowl in. It was just really hard holding the camera at the same time, but in the instructions she does say to slowly add the dry ingredients. I stirred the mixture together until the Play-Doh was cooked and then dumped it out on a parchment-lined plate to cool. You can see it was a little lumpy at first because of how I added the dry ingredients, but you will see that it all smooths out in the end. When the Play-Doh had cooled off, I began kneading it for a few minutes until it was nice and smooth. This recipe was the perfect mix between soft and squishy, but dense enough to hold its shape. It's something I will definitely make again. Next up, I tried a recipe that ranks #2 on Google. It's technically in the 3rd spot, but #2 actually belongs to the first recipe we tried, so I'm calling it #2. This recipe comes from livesimply.me and is called Natural Play-Doh without cream of tartar. This recipe is no cook, so no need for a pot this time. I just use a glass bowl. I adjusted her original recipe to make only 1 ball of Play-Doh, so my measurements were 1/2 and 1/8 cup of hot water, 1 tablespoon of olive oil, and food coloring. In a separate bowl, I added the dry ingredients, which were 1 1/8 cup of white all-purpose flour and 1/2 cup of salt. I added the dry ingredients to the wet and then gave it a stir. After stirring, I switched to using my hands and began to knead the dough. In the recipe, she notes that she usually ends up adding an extra 2 tablespoons of flour. My dough was pretty sticky, so I went ahead and added those extra 2 tablespoons. Although this dough was super soft, it was still sticky after adding the extra flour. I think if I had played with the ratios a bit more, that it might turn out nice, but it was time to move on to our next recipe. The 4th and final recipe I tried is from stayathomeeducator.com. This recipe does not contain cream of tartar or salt, which I thought was unique. This recipe needs to be cooked, so I started out with my wet ingredients in a pot. I adjusted her recipe for 1 ball of Play-Doh. The measurements were 1 cup of water, 1 tablespoon of lemon juice, 1 tablespoon of vegetable oil, and food coloring. In a separate bowl, I mixed my dry ingredients. They were 1/2 cup of flour and 1/2 cup of cornstarch. Next, I said to cook all the ingredients over low heat until the Play-Doh comes together. After that, I dumped the ball into a parchment-lined plate to let it cool. When it was safe to touch, I kneaded it for several minutes until I had a smooth, squishy Play-Doh ball. On her post, she writes that this is the softest Play-Doh you will ever touch, and thus far I would have to agree. This Play-Doh is so fun and squishy to touch, and I love that it doesn't require any cream of tartar or salt. Now for my final thoughts. Which Play-Doh recipe without cream of tartar is the absolute best? It came down to 2 contenders for me, and that was the blue Play-Doh I made from Fun Learning for Kids, and the pink Play-Doh from Stay at Home Educator. After playing with both for several weeks, I noticed some minor differences. The blue Play-Doh is just slightly more dense, so it holds its shape a little better than the pink Play-Doh. The other thing was that the blue Play-Doh also dries out less quickly than the pink. As far as longevity, they both have lasted a month now, and counting, without any cream of tartar. And they were honestly both so amazing, and I would make either of them again. But as far as my personal choice, I would make the blue Play-Doh by Fun Learning for Kids my staple recipe. Thank you so much for joining me in this video. I'll see you in my next one. Bye!